Oh, so nice to see you. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Margo and I go back a long ways because we were in high school together. We both went
Okay.
to the Faculty of Education at UNB Fredericton.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the whole time we've always known each other and been friendly, but we've never been in the same crowd or anything. So I have a lot to learn about you. I
Yeah.
remember you, I know you as having this amazing website for your classroom and being known as a superstar teacher around the
Oh,
district.
wow. Thank
Hey,
you.
I knew that girl in high school. And then finally, you retired at a pretty early age. Some people watching
Yes.
this, some of the American teachers I've spoken with, and of course, other people who aren't teachers, they're still working well into their 60s.
Yes.
We're well set up here to retire younger. And part of the whole idea of this community is people who it started out as a retirement group, but people aren't retiring. So it's semi-retirement. So eventually it was let's go for better with age
I like
because
it.
we need to stop, assess what's going on in our lives, and really make a very conscious decision about how we're going to live. And I know
Right.
you've really enjoyed your teaching career, but I'd
Mm-hmm.
love for you, the end of the story is you're starting a business now and you're doing
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of fun retirement things. And I know
I
you have
am
at least one grandchild.
too.
Two, yep.
Yes.
So, yeah, how about you fill in the gaps there? Because I
Sure.
know little bits and pieces, but maybe if you could tell me a bit about your teaching history and then bring us up to the point where you're starting to look for change again.
Okay. So thanks for having me. I'm really excited to share. I went with my best friend. My best friend and I went to UMB into the education program, and we started our journey through having a Bachelor of Education in Home Economics. And we were really excited, and I myself was really excited to start my career in home ec because I felt that those basic skills are such an integral part of our life that we need to know. And so I was excited to begin my teaching career in home economics. My main focus has always been sewing. And so, of course, I was excited that I was going to get to teach sewing. So I graduated in 1991, and right off the cuff, right off graduation in May, I had a full-time job in September, and with a permanent contract in the St. John area. So I think I taught home economics for 5 years, 6 years. And then I had our first son, Samuel. And right when I came back from maternity leave, I had 1 year, and then they changed how home economics and shop was delivered and went to, only needing one of us. So of course, a lot of the shop teachers had more seniority. So a lot of us home economics teachers had to find something else. So,
Mm.
so disappointed and so upset about the changes to that. And so I jumped into the elementary classroom. I followed, I visited, I studied, I learned, and I like followed mentors around and went to their classrooms every prep I had to learn to reinvent myself into an elementary teacher. Well, I found that I was a perfect fit because I'm a very creative, hands-on person. So I was able to adapt quite well. And I just had a wonderful time teaching elementary. So of course, 33 years later, and it's time that I've actually have a full pension. I'm 55 in this past April, and I was able to retire in June with a full pension because of starting so early. Bought back 2 maternity leaves, bought back some supply time, and I was able to go. And so I met with our union rep and kept, getting him to crunch the numbers to ensure that I could do it. And when it comes down to 50 or $60 difference in a take home pay, it was time for me to go. And the reason why I knew it was time is that I felt like I didn't fit anymore. I'm extremely hardworking, dedicated, whole jump right in, like I'm the whole dive in deep. And I did extracurricular. I did 14 different musicals between the few schools that I taught in. And that wasn't just like 20 kids, it was 85 kids or 90 kids because it was like
Wow.
whoever wants to be in it can be in it because that's what elementary is about. So those are
Mhm.
my fondest memories of teaching. are getting to know the kids and youth groups when I taught junior high, middle school. And so anyway, I've always been a really deep dive person. But sadly, the system has changed a great deal. As everybody knows, society has changed and the demands on our teachers, it's beyond ridiculous. And I found that I felt like I didn't fit anymore. I felt that I me being the person who wants to do my very best, I felt like I was letting my students down. I wasn't meeting all their needs academically, socially, and emotionally. Like I'm a teacher who will hug if a hug is needed. I will give up my recess, my lunch. I'll sit on the floor and out in the hall if someone's having a bad day and sit with them and have lunch. Like I'm all in. But it got to the point that I found that I was just drowning and I felt overwhelmed all the time. I go home and I'd say to my husband, Stuart, I'm not meeting everyone's needs. There's kids that are struggling with reading and I don't know what more to do. And I got frustrated because there's some families, not all families, there's some amazing families, but I found some families are wanting more homework, but they don't do any homework with their children, or they want them to be better readers, but they're not committing to reading with their child every night. So I felt like I was constantly trying to do it all and I just felt like I couldn't and I was just letting myself down thinking I can't help everybody and do everything for everybody. The teachers' plates are becoming more and more loaded with more things, more data collection, more high needs children, more disruptive, challenging, violent behaviors. And I became
Hmm.
more like I didn't feel like a teacher anymore. I feel like I'm parenting, I'm disciplining, I'm counseling, and I've never signed up for all that. I signed up to teach and of course model and love and so I felt that it was just time that if I had a full pension, it was time to go. And then looking at the numbers now, with the just recently looking at my pay stub from my pension, I'm bringing home pretty much what I took home. So I found that it was well worth it, and I've supplemented with other fun things that I've been wanting to do. So I thought it's time to do what I want to do.
Hmm.
I'm learning to say no. Like I've had people say, "Would you want to do this?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." And I'm
I
thinking,
love it.
stay focused on what you want to do, your passion, and
Hmm.
live your best life. And right now I'm living my best life. Like I smile all day. I skip the house. I'm
Yeah.
just, it's just been wonderful.